why mutual fund? So I can speak on behalf of myself. One is, it's better because now you can diversify your portfolio, and on top of that you have access to professional money managers, right? So the reason why I personally use Vanguard is, one, because the fees are pretty low and they have really good mutual fund accounts. So what I'll do today is actually show you how easy it is to set up your Vanguard account, and then from there maybe some of the strategies you can utilize to really build up your wealth, so then you can then take some of this money and invest it in other areas of your life, quite frankly. So check this out. What I'll do is type in Fidelity or Vanguard. These are some of the more popular ones. I personally use Vanguard. As I'd mentioned, it's really easy to use. So you can go Vanguard, pull up your personal investor account, and from there you can create a login, right? So go ahead and create a login, and then what you can do is you can look up different accounts. Now some of them are going to have minimum thresholds in which they require you to invest, like maybe it's 3,000 or 5,000. There may be some that are 1,000, but from my familiarity with this, most of it is going to be roughly the $3,000 mark, right? And then you can do your own due diligence. Now the benefit in my eyes for going with Vanguard and these mutual funds is you don't have to know a ton about stocks to know which is the best performing. You can just simply click into top performing mutual funds in Vanguard 2020, and then here they can give you a whole list of some of the best holdings that Vanguard has to offer, and then you can really see what you're looking for. Is it long-term growth? Is it short-term growth? Is it more risk? Is it less risk? Is it dividends? Like, what are you looking to do? One of the things that I like, once again, about Vanguard is I use it to save my money. Instead of holding my money in a bank account, I'll use Vanguard, for example. So Vanguard, monthly, I will throw maybe a couple bucks that I have extra in my Vanguard. It makes it easier to save because, one, I'm not spending that money. It's not as liquid as a bank account. It's pretty damn close, but it's not that liquid. And two is it starts to give you a better return over time. Now, there is a little bit of risk involved, you know, if the stock market takes a shit, but it is pretty well diversified if you have some global bond equities or a diversified equity portfolio that you have in Vanguard. For example, recently the stock market took a nice little crash or correction. My Vanguard, I think, went down about 1%, so not too bad at all. It's pretty safe in all relativity. So what I do is, when I get a paycheck, I'll throw a couple extra bucks in there. Let's say I want to buy a property, I'll take out some of my money that I have in Vanguard and then rinse and repeat. Spend that on the property, and then boom, next thing you know, I'll start contributing a little bit more, and it builds up over time. So that's just one of my avenues of revenue that I have coming in. So a lot of different benefits with Vanguard, but that's just one of the ways that I use it. Something that's also very important to note is, while I do heavily recommend, you know, diversifying the portfolio, I think it's extremely important to have at least anywhere from 6 months to 8 months in your bank account for just in case shit hits the fan, right? So while I talk about me having money in this mutual funds account and, you know, me having investments in real estate and 401k, we'll get into diversifying the portfolio. But one thing I think is very important, once again, is to make sure you have a nice little nest egg in your bank account or in an area in which you can easily use that money in the event that you need to. So I think that's very important that I throw in here before I also continue on this rant about mutual funds. Some of the funds that I have today, as you can see, are these four on this side. Just gives you a good idea. For me, I use really the 80-20 split theory, in where right now I have 80% in stocks, 20% in bonds. For the most part, I have some global equity funds. I also have some high yield corporate funds, as well as a fund, the VTSAX, which follows the stock market. So overall, it's been very beneficial for me. It's helped me protect my wealth from spending it on, you know, maybe just the day-to-day things, but it's also helped me save and grow my money over time, which, like I'd mentioned earlier, that I then use that money to maybe go buy property, and then once again rinse and repeat, try to build that wealth over time, so then you could use that for some of your other investments. You can go ahead, leave a comment, anything that you want me to address or talk about. I would love to help out any way I can. Talk to y'all soon. Also, don't forget, hit the like button, hit subscribe. I got a lot more videos coming your way.